So I grew up in Southeast Alaska, lived there about 18 years, and since then I've been around much of the West Coast. I've always been a photographer, and I've always shot movies, but painting has been about 35 years. This is a series called American Lives. Each of these paintings represents a life. And you can see that for some of these, there's an event that crossed more than one person's lives. Each of them have a different experience. This person's experience is different from this one's, but they can relate to each other. And they will have that historical memory until someone leaves. But eventually, someone's going to get married, go to another community, someone else will come in. And when that new person comes into place, they're going to have a different story that they're familiar with. They may be able to relate to this event, or maybe it won't make sense to them. And as these get rearranged, this line will disappear. These are all individually for sale, so if someone buys just a particular painting, then that context is gone. But that's how this series works, because people do move, find new places, and adjust. So Mother Teresa is a Catholic nun who lived in India, and she would rescue people who were desperately poor and at the end of their lives. She also had ministry to other groups, but people who were starving, people who were unwanted, people who were unloved. She came to the US for medical reasons and was asked by a professor if he could have a message to take back to his students from her. And she took one of his hands and said, "You did it for me." It comes from a story Jesus tells that as we help the people that society rejects, it's like we're helping Jesus. And so this series has the imprint of a hand to remind us that what we do for others, especially other people rejected by society or by groups, as we help them, it's really making a difference, not only in their life, but in the greater society. It's really helpful. So that's what this series is about. Everything in this room is the same process, but not the same series. But the process is to have text on the canvas first before a painting covers it up. So the text is hidden in the final result. So this painting has text on the canvas, and in this case, it's a prayer for one of the nations in the G20. The G20 talks about economic policy for the world, so this is a prayer for one of the nations that talk about economic policy for the world, covered up, hidden by a painting. Most of the prayers that are prayed around the world are hidden. Your grandma prays for you, you never know it, but suddenly your life improves in something. And so that's why some of these prayers are hidden. If you can read the text, it means the painting's not finished. I have about 50 books that are available in the gallery and on Amazon that are collections of photographs and a story. So this particular story is about Amanda who once, from her grandmother, she asks her for a miracle, and her grandma gives her pumpkin seeds. And Amanda thinks that's not very helpful for what she needs and wants. If you pick up any other children's story with the title Amanda Gets a Pumpkin, you'll find pictures of pumpkins inside. But there are no pumpkins, no pumpkin seeds. These are industrial photos from, I think, Xi'an and Beijing and one other city in China. So all the portfolios are like that, in that the story and the photographs do not go together, which for children is no problem at all because they see the universe as kind of chaotic and things don't always relate. But adults tend to have to look at either one side or the other. They cannot focus on both at the same time. It just scrambles their brains. So most adults will look at the pictures first and then read the story second, but can't do both at the same time.